Have you been watching 90 Days Fiance before the 90 days? If so, chat it up with me, True Silver.
Louisa.
Okay. I have heard your feedback and I am going to do better. And if I don't, you don't have to subscribe. Psych, subscribe. Okay? Stop playing. Anyway, this episode is called what? False Starts and False Promises. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and just roll right into it like we always do. We're going to start it off with Memphis and Hamza. So we find out that she pretty much gets her way because Hamza creeps into the room with her at night and they end up having sex. So they wake up in the morning. So they wake up in the morning and she's going to start tripping. It's like, do you think your mom's going to be mad? Do you think she hurt us? Yeah. He wasn't on the couch when she got up. So if he wasn't on the couch, where was he? Okay. So then, she gonna come out the room like, it's all good? You happy? You happy? Hell no, she ain't happy. You screwed her son in her house. And then you're gonna trip on Hamza saying he is quick with the gun, quick with it. Well, first of all, I don't think he had a woman before. I mean, he can talk all he wants. I think he's telling stories to some extent, but he doesn't seem like he's confident in that area. So for you to believe that kind of has me, you get what you got. If you wasn't satisfied, or if you were satisfied but it was over too quick, that's on you, boo. Like I said, he was doing it in the house. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he wasn't thinking about you. He was about self-servicing himself. If you didn't pick that up, that's what I picked up. Then you're going to say, are you always like that? You're talking to him. And again, you're not taking into consideration that he is from another culture. They don't really talk about their sexuality, the sex. They don't even live together like that. So, you're going to hit him up, cameras in the face. And then you're going to say, is it always like that? What do you expect him to say? Yeah, right. You can't get everything out of him now. So you think he done slick talked you out the draws. You done traveled millions of miles. He got in the draws of, you could say sexy time all you want because you want to know what you was get before you got it. But, yeah, you got it. So then after y'all finish eating, after you discuss that and you go back to the house, you go back to the mom, to the house, and you and your mom the family sitting down and you have a discussion. And you get offended that she's coming at you the way she is. And you're going to say she has the audacity because of the fact that she's been divorced too. But she didn't disrespect, as far as we know, because, she's grown, her past is her past. But you went to her house and sexed her son in her house. Boo-boo, you don't have a leg to stand on. Because if you was about that life and you really had it going on like you said, then why you had to stay at their house? Why couldn't you get a hotel and have them stay over there? You went over there, you're making these demands in their house. So I don't have, and you just show more of your insecurities. It's like you only hearing from him what you want to hear because, boo, he ain't answering you in a manner that I would felt secure to make that trip. Next, we pick up with Caleb and Alina. And they are visiting her girlfriend. And this is what I don't like about Alina. She she wants answers, but she don't want to ask them the hard ones. She'll do the mediocre ones, like where her feelings can't get hurt on it. But she has her friends. She tells her friends everything. Too much for her to be wanting a commitment like she does. She talks to them. They come straight at Caleb, and he's not a bad person. It's that they just constantly drill him. What are your intentions? What are her intentions? What are her intentions? Because, she want to say, we know each other for 13 years. No, you just wrote. Pen pal. I can write whatever I want and make it sound good that you think that's who I am. And it's not. And she's just in this false reality of it. He is a good person, but she's trying to make him go faster than what he wants to go. And he's being, as far as what I can tell so far, he has been straight up and honest. He hasn't done anything to warrant the lashings that he is getting from her friends. So yeah, she'll set him up for the okie doke. They started off at the girl house. And she was just like, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? What do you want? Alina, when you was talking with him, did you ask him or tell him what you wanted to see if y'all was on the same page? Because he just doesn't strike me as to say one thing and do another. He's very meticulous of thinking things through. He doesn't just answer. Just like you couldn't get no booty from him the first night when you thought he should have been all cuddly, and not considering that he flew 20-something miles for your ass. You're being ungrateful. And he is taking in, you have to understand, he likes you. He has did more than what I think because you're a lot to take in by being, not everybody can deal with your disabilities. And he thought he could. And I'm not saying he can't. But when he got there, it hit him like a ton of bricks. So he was taking all that in. He had to process that because he didn't want to hurt you. That's what I was picking up. And then he was thinking to me of your conversations of you, not your physical attributes. Because in the beginning, before he got there, he was in many countries with many women. So it was the conversation I'm going with that he was liking with you. And you're just, to me, you're pushing him to go in another direction because you got all this interference that don't need to be there. You want to know something in 2 weeks that the man took 13 years. Well, okay, we can't really say 13 years because y'all was kids. From the time of adulthood to the time that y'all connected, I don't know how long that was. But to get to move to meet you. So if he didn't rush that, why do you think he's going to rush anything without thinking things through? The pros and the cons of it. Because you're a lot to take on. You're a lot. If you're modeling in Russia, would you model in the States? And then you get mad or kind of disappointed and says, am I different from another woman? Well, yes, you are. You are. And for you not to be considerate of that, I'm looking at you because, okay, let me not jump too far. After the night of eating, they went back home and, she got what she asked for. And, baby, that's not something I wanted to see or imagine. And Caleb is a good person. Yeah, I wanted to see that as much as I wanted to see Tammy and BBW King doing that. But to each his own. So, you got that. I'm happy for you. I'm hoping you happy. So, and we can't confirm it, but it led into that. It was awkward. it was awkward to watch for me. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Yeah, I can't focus on that part. So we're going on to Mike and Ximena. I gotta get her name. I really do. Yeah. So he, of course, he got some. So the next morning they get up and she's blocking. So I could tell right there that she wasn't satisfied. But when the producers asked him, he was like, and that made me think that Mike doesn't get no coochie either. And that was the first tasting that he had, and he was thinking it was. And so then when you asked her, she was like, it was normal. So yeah, and it wasn't good to her, because the next morning the babies came in the room. She's like, we got to get up and clean up. And again, it was a family collaboration. They went to a nice spa area with the water running down the mountains. That was nice. And the whole time she was with everybody but Mike. And so our cousin asked her, have you told him that you couldn't have no kids? She said, no, I wanted him to come here and be face to face. I didn't want to do it over the phone. Now, all Mike's been talking about since we known him basically is her and having kids. Her and having kids. So, yeah, how do you think that's going to go? And then the fact that he bought you and he took care of you, thinking that you was going to go back with him to the States and have kids. So basically, I guess you're served thinking that, hey, I got 2 boys, you can love them like your own. It don't work like that, boo. It don't work like that. And you're wrong for that. So I can't even, you're wrong for that. Dead ass wrong for that. And Mike, the smart thing you did was give him some. So I think he is gonna, which he ended up doing, is let me think about it. Let's talk about it. What's to talk about? She can't have no kids of her own, and he's still going to hit her up and say, well, we can look at other methods. And then she has the nerve to say, well, as long as they don't deal with no surgery. Baby, you done got your whole household furnished, your rent paid, and you want him to take you back to the States. Then that wasn't even the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake, boo, was that your ass said that your ex-boyfriend or something was a hitman. And rounding out this episode is Ella and Johnny. And pretty much there was not too much excitement going there. I'm just mentioning them to be nice. Johnny is informed Ella that his visa is denied, and she's like panicky. But he's also having second thoughts because his parents are like pressuring him because he's the breadwinner of the house. So they pretty much don't want him to go, and he is starting to second guess himself because he is sacrificing a lot on this episode that he's talking with us on. So we're gonna have to follow on for the next one to see how that's going to go. Now, the last meat and potatoes is, of course, Gino and Jasmine. And this was funny for 2 scenes only. And I know she's going to take it up a notch the following episode. But she gets this whim in about her that she's going to take Gino shopping. Now, if you're taking somebody shopping, it's just implied that you're going to pay. So she's throwing all these clothes up, gets to the cash register, and it comes to a total of $512.53. Well, I wish you could see Gino's face. It was like, Then he does his dry laugh. And he kind of sulks to her. He said, I'm not paying that much for that. And she said, well, what you want me to say? I don't know what you're going to tell her, but I'm not paying for that. And she gets the butt. But if you're the one picking up the stuff, it seemed like you implied, you know, that you're going to pay. So it was like egg in her face, and she gets mad and stumps off. Because she has to tell the cashier that, you know, he has to come back and pay, which he ain't going to do. She was trying to dress Gino in a fashion he's not used to. You can see how he dresses the whole time through, that he's just not into fashion like she is. So she was embarrassed because now she has to introduce him to his friend, her best friend, and he is metrosexual, I guess. He likes the finer things. He dresses nice, and you know, she's introducing her to her man who dressed like a slum. But you know, either you're going to take Gino as he is, or you're just going to move on. Yeah. So she has a hissy fit about that. He has decided to see her friend. He asks her, how is she? And he pretty much describes her as a firecracker. And he said Gino said he can see that. So yeah, that's all with the false promises, false starts, false promises. Is building up to the next one. So I'm looking forward to see the next one. So I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to what? Like, subscribe, and push that bell button. Oh, and most important, leave your comments down there, right down there. And I'll talk to you the next time on what? Chat It Up with who? True Silver. Have you been watching? See you next time.
Louisa.